I am extremely passionate about everything related to mental health. Getting over that stigma is something which I feel is very important. And again, for every generation, it's very different because every generation and every age bracket brings a very different perspective to everything. So, what we're trying to do is talk about everything that society tries to shun.
Hello and welcome to Empower Magazine's 15th issue's Emerging Empowerer video interview. Today I am honored to be joined with Palakh Khanna, the founder of the organization Break the Ice. So Palakh, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Akshata. So, hi everyone. I am Palak. I am 19 years old and I'm the founder and CEO of Break the Ice. I am also a passionate environmentalist. I'm India's 20 under 20, and I'm also working as a regional officer for Asia Pacific. Well, yes, that's me.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I am honored to have you. So, first off, let's talk about Break the Ice. It's such a revolutionary thing. So, can you tell us all about the organization, how it came to be, the inspiration behind it, what you aim to achieve with it, current projects going on? So, everything. Just hit me with it.
Awesome. So I think when we define break the ice, we say we try to literally break the ice about taboo topics and stigmatized topics, and we help in creating an enlightened global youth community. So what we're trying to do is talk about everything that society tries to shun. And it basically, the inspiration was this very random incident that happened. I overheard a conversation between my mom and my domestic help during the pandemic, and my domestic help had her periods at our place, and she was shying away from the conversation. And I told my mom, we're living in the 21st century. Can we get over that taboo and that stigma? It can't happen, at least in our house. And I mean, periods is such a natural process. So that's when I had the idea of just starting a or creating a platform where we just talk about things which are not talked about. So that was the idea and the inspiration behind it. And currently, we are working as a UN SDSN Youth member organization, and we are getting into the metaverse. So that is an upcoming project.
The metaverse. That is so cool. I'm flabbergasted. Your work is so inspirational to me. I'm very passionate about this cause as well of breaking the stigma, breaking stereotypes, and it's something very close to my heart. So I'm just very excited to be talking to you right now. Something that both Break the Ice and Empower share, and is a common core belief in both of them, is that they're both by youth for youth organization. And age is something that is often considered to be linked to and to be a deciding factor in respect to the amount of maturity or knowledge one may possess. And Gen
Mhm.
Zers are thus, and Gen Z's opinions are often dismissed due to their young age. Having started your
Mhm.
organization in your teens and Empower themselves being a for youth organization, what are your views on this opinion? And how do you think your platform tackles this misguided interpretation? Do you think starting older or even having started younger could have somehow helped or impacted your work?
Okay, so I love the question that you've asked. Actually, it's one of the stigmas, that we can break the ice about. So, if I talk about the stigma related to age is equal to experience or age is equal to knowledge, I just think at this point people need to get over it because Gen Z is one of that age bracket or generation, if you want to say, that has kind of broken that stigma already. Because if people must observe that we are the digitalized generation, we're using social media, we are using it to leverage our knowledge, and it's no longer just learning offline. And when you're learning online, you're already much more mature than your age. So firstly, getting over that stigma is something which I feel is very important. And again, for every generation it's very different because every generation and every age bracket brings a very different perspective to everything, and that perspective should matter more than the knowledge. And in terms of how we are trying to tackle that issue, I think you already said it. We are working for the youth, by the youth, and with the youth. So just creating a space where we are surrounded by the youth is a way that we are trying to tackle the issue and highlight that how the youth is working and inspiring others is a good enough reason to assume that age is not equal to experience.
Exactly. I absolutely love your answer. That's so true because Gen Z are going to be those who facilitate any change or any revolution that is to come in our society, and thus them being shunned or ostracized just for their age, I believe is absolutely useless, unnecessary, and downright like idiotic. I don't think that will help anything, and we need to move on from that stigma and actually work on progressing as society rather than just fighting on who should be making the change. So, moving on, I will have, before we move on to more formal questions, I have a few placards here, and I'm gonna ask you
Mhm.
a few rapid fire questions. I don't think I need to explain how those work. Just tell me the first thing that comes off of your heart. Don't overthink it. All right?
I'm
Okay.
already anxious now.
Don't worry, they're very simple questions. You know, everyone, I suck at rapid fire questions because someone asks me what's your favorite color, and I'll just panic. I'm like, today I like yellow, but tomorrow I might like red. So say the first thing that comes to your head. Don't worry too much. Okay? So
Got it.
first, are you a dreamer or a realist?
I am both. I am very, very ambitious, but I want to convert all of my dreams into reality.
I love that. Okay, favorite song at the moment.
Oh, I don't. I don't have any. I just have one playlist that I stick to for like 5 years. So I don't really listen to any recent songs and add it to my playlist. I have this weird thing that I have to hear a song continuously, get obsessed with it. That's when it gets the access to my playlist.
Yes, I love that. Okay, last movie or show you binge watched.
I haven't. I've just been watching videos for my film studies assignment, if you want to consider that. It isn't even a film or a series, honestly. I've been watching Killing Eve because we have to analyze it for a film studies project.
Ooh, that's so fun. Okay. Skill you learned this year.
I think networking.
Very nice. Favorite poet or poem?
I like poems written by a lot of people, honestly, because I'm doing English honors. And when you're deciding, I don't have any. I'll be very straightforward because it's a rapid fire. I don't have any.
Okay. Comfort food.
Has to be pizza. I can just eat it any moment, any time, any amount.
I love that. Okay, so let's move on. So, okay, this is a fun question actually. So I was scrolling through your page and I saw this one post on schizophrenia and the portrayal of schizophrenia in movies and shows. And I
Mhm.
absolutely love that. So I myself am a part of this online community which hosts a lot of neurodivergent individuals with bipolar
Mhm.
disorder, dissociative identity disorder. And seeing that post and how it highlighted not just movies that have schizophrenia, and you should watch these movies. Rather, it mentioned
Mhm.
that this is a movie that portrays schizophrenia well. It doesn't perpetuate stereotypes, whereas this one is absolutely horrible. It
Mhm.
perpetuates stereotypes. It is a mockery of schizophrenia, and I love that post. So, what are not just is what are some social stigmas or problems that you yourself are very passionate about and hope to shed light on through your organization?
Okay, so I think there are a lot, but I am extremely passionate about everything related to mental health as well as gender equality. And I say gender equality as a very, very broad term where I include everything related to women, women empowerment, just men also, because somewhere the discrimination against men is also pushed under the carpet of ignorance. So when I mean gender equality, I mean it in all of its broader terms. And of course, I'm also passionate about LGBTQ plus, though I'm always learning about it every day from other individuals because I have a very, very brief idea about it.
That is awesome. And I love how you specify that because this is a big thing going on right now. I've seen so many people be identifying as, oh, I'm not a feminist. I believe in gender equality. And that always
Mhm.
throws me off because feminism implies that you are fighting for equal rights.
Equality.
It doesn't mean that you only want rights for women, 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 and men should go and die in a ditch. It always throws me off so much. So I love that you don't perpetuate that weird understanding and are rather fighting for both sides of the war. Other than that, I love it. Okay,
Thank you.
so next up, I was reading and I found out that you not only work for Break the Ice, but you're also an avid poet, a classical dancer, and you're a climate change ambassador for the UN. How, what is all that? Explain that to me, and how do you juggle all of that alongside education and then break the ice?
Okay, so I am a classically trained dancer. I've been trained for 7 years in Kathak. So that is one thing. I am very passionate about it, but I usually don't get the time for it now. I'll be very honest because I have so much going on that it's almost got neglected to a point. But yeah, I do love dancing, like classic dancing, not Western. I can't. But and you asked poet. Yes, so I do love writing poetry as well as short stories, honestly, because as an individual in my own personal space, I'm a huge introvert. So writing kind of lets me just express my words and express my feelings because I'm really bad at it. So I think that kind of helps me just write everything down. So yes, I'm very passionate about that. And you mentioned climate change for the UN. So no, I'm not a climate change ambassador for the UN. I am a global lead ambassador for climate change with an international organization. And if you talk about the time management part of it, I don't know how I'm doing it. I'm surviving, but like I mentioned, I'm a really, really ambitious individual, which again has its own pros and cons. But I consider the pros more valuable. So I just love to commit, even if I'm committing 18 hours a day to work, whichever work. I really enjoy doing that. So I feel like as long as I'm able to do it and I don't burn out, I will continue to do it.
That is awesome. You know, just the fake it till you make it. Just put your heart into it and it'll eventually work out. I love that view of yours. And the just your passion for so many things. You have such multifaceted talents. I am just absolutely in awe of your work and your just cause. So, where do you see not just yourself, not just break the ice, just everything combined, every single thing that you work for in the next 5 to 10 years? What is the ultimate goal that you want to achieve with the work you're doing?
I think I want to create international social change. I won't go all philosophical with lead a happy life. Honestly, I don't feel like that is possible. Again, I don't know, I'm an optimist in a pessimistic body. So I have both sides to everything that I'm imagining or even dreaming about. So in 5 years, I do want to be featured on Forbes. I'll be very honest. Even if I'm not working for that single achievement, I just feel like I want to be recognized because that would be a dream come true.
With the work you are doing right now, with your dedication and your passion, I am 100% sure that will come true. And I will
Thank you.
support you and work and help you with your way through it. So, are there any things or any topics that you would like to shed light on for our viewers?
In terms of what all? I have so many topics going on in my mind. Give me a direction.
Just how they can support you, how they can join you, how they can work with you.
Okay. I think you can connect with me through LinkedIn. I am the most active on that platform. And I just feel like if you want to work with us, directly apply, break the ice. The Insta handle has a form to join us. And I would love to have passionate individuals. We always keep our applications open for passionate people. So whenever people are like, are there any positions available? We're like always. So if you feel like you relate to the cause and you have the time, then go ahead apply.
I love that so much. So you mentioned that you're very active on LinkedIn. I was looking through that, and you have more than 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. I never thought that was possible because LinkedIn is a social media platform that I barely ever pay attention to. So, how do you think that has impacted the work you do, and how did you grow that following?
Okay, so how did I grow that following? I'll answer that first. I think I've just been really, really consistent with it. And again, like I mentioned, I am an introvert as an individual. So whenever I want to write something, I either write it on paper, and when it's not rhyming or when I don't have a plot, I write online. So it's technically that. It's just that passion of writing getting converted on online and offline content. And it just stuck. And I just stuck with it, and it gradually grew to a number that I'm very proud of as of now, and I want to stay consistent with it. But then again, whenever burnout, just grasp me, I will. leave the platform, and I'll just try to just calm down with everything that I'm trying to do. But yes, you asked how has it helped me also, right? So I think LinkedIn is very, very useful. I had the biggest misconception about it, that it's a professional platform, and I just went to create a page on it honestly, and I created content on it for 5 days, and I realized maybe it's not only about profession. It's much more about humanly connect, values, and everything in between that every other social media platform also caters to. So that's when I realized that LinkedIn is good, and I started writing on it, and it's helped me in so many ways. I've connected with so many individuals. I mean, I've worked with brands like Boat, Amazon for campaigns, and that's been something which has been massive, and I've never really imagined that. And then through that platform, I even got invited as the youngest mentor and panelist for the Business Blasters. That's a Government of Delhi initiative. And I have to say it everywhere because it still remains my biggest, proudest achievement. So I think LinkedIn has been life changing. Everybody listening to this, just create your profile and get consistent with it. It'll help you a lot.
I love that. I signed up for LinkedIn just for you, and I already have found so many connections and found so many new ways in which I can grow and in which I can expand the work I'm doing. So I love
Mhm.
that you took that step to join such a platform, and not just you joined it and left it, but rather you worked on it, you grew it, and it led you to do some amazing things. Business Blaster is one of my favorite shows, and to know that you worked with it just absolutely touches my heart. So to conclude the interview, what do you think is the issue affecting today's youth the most, and how do you recommend our youth to create a better community for the future?
Wow. I love the question. Actually, I'm thinking of a lot of things that the youth is facing as of today, but I'll stick to mental health because it's very, very relevant in today's time as well. So, I mean, I know that people are facing a lot of mental health issues, but I'm not going to talk about that, honestly. All that I'm talking about is we need to understand that it's something very, very technical and something which needs professional guidance, right? Rather than pushing it under the carpet of ignorance or over glamorizing it. So there are two sides to mental health that have been explored on every social media platform for young individuals. I think at one point it has been over glamorized where we're using it in our daily lives, not understanding its meaning. And at one point we're not talking about it at all. So I think finding the right balance between that and being very, very open about your feelings with everyone around you, whether it's your friends, family, crush, anybody, just be really, really honest and open, and you'll not bottle up those feelings, and your mental health won't decline. Let's just take that first step towards preventing that. And if it does happen, which is completely normal, again, just get the right guidance and get over it. I think that's the advice also that I have. And yeah, I don't remember the second part of the question.
Or it was just like, what are your aim and how do you think that today's youth can change tomorrow's future?
Okay. Yeah, so I think similar answer. I think
Yeah,
it's just understanding our challenges and focusing on solving them rather than just getting over them or over glamorizing them. Solve them and then get over them. So, yes.
absolutely. I love that your view on it is not just that mental issues happen and that you have to somehow get over them, but rather that issues will happen, and that's the normal course of life. You will always face issues in your life, but to get the right guidance, to get the right method to work through it is a very big part of it, and to not let such issues be a barrier in the ultimate thing that we want to achieve. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love talking with you. Unfortunately, this brings us to the end of the interview. Are there any things that you want to highlight on about your work, or anything that you think I missed out on?
Nope. All
Uh,
good.
so thank you so much to the audience for tuning in to this awesome interview with the revolutionary, if I say so myself, Palakh Khanna. So I hope this inspired you to just remove all stigmas or stereotypes that you hold in your heart. It is the 21st century. We need to move on from this. We need to progress. Thank you so much for joining me, Palak. I hope that
Thank
you
you so
enjoyed today's
much.
interview. Thank you so much. Goodbye and stay safe.
Thank you.